Hello everybody and welcome to this week's video or podcast, wherever you're tuning in from. Thank you very much for joining me. If you haven't already, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that you can stay up to date with all of my latest content. But I'm just going to jump right in, and today we're going to talk about why you're doing the inner work, what's the point, and the process of individuation. So you're doing the inner work and maybe you're not sure why. What drew you to personal development or spiritual development in the first place? Was it to release suffering, to maybe overcome anxiety or stress? It was for me initially. Or was it to create something, create success? And that was part of it for me as well. Are you either kind of running away from something, or are you trying to create something? And why? Why are you doing it? It's really important to know why you're doing this inner work, and is it aligned with your higher self? It's really important to know what your soul is asking for as you go through this work, because if you understand, if you can do this inner work in alignment with your higher self, it's going to become much smoother for you. You do release the suffering, you do align with peace and bliss, rather than kind of, if you're doing this to escape something, if you're doing this to create something that's ego based and not soul based, then you're going to create more suffering. So it's really important to just dig into for a second why you're doing the inner work. And you're doing the inner work because you've been called, maybe unconsciously, maybe very quietly, you've been called to step into something greater, and you're being called to individuate. So the individuation process the term was coined by Carl Jung as the process effectively to enlightenment through the psychological point of view. Becoming aware of our unconscious mind, and stepping towards wholeness, reclaiming the parts of us that we've rejected or repressed, and going throughout our life's journey in conscious awareness in order to become whole. So that's very simply what the individuation process is. It means to be, individuation translates to undivided. So we become whole. We are already whole beings, but some aspects, like the aspect of our mind, like the ego, makes us believe that we're not whole in order to keep us safe, keep the world out there, keep us separate from the world, when in reality, in truth, we are all one. And in order to release that suffering, that is kind of our mission, is to come back to this space of love, to believe that we're all one, we're all manifestations of pure consciousness. And this is what the individuation process brings you. So life is encouraging you to go through individuation when it hands you challenges, when it gives you things to overcome, when it tells you to go for your dreams. Life is is leading the path for the individuation process, but our mind wants to keep us safe, so it doesn't necessarily move towards individuation, move towards this growth, and quite often it will keep us held back. But if you're here, you're doing the inner work, so you're being called to really lean into this process and move forward with courage. And as you go through this process of individuation, it's your soul reclaiming wholeness, moving towards wholeness, integrating your whole psyche so that you can live your life of Dharma, your unique path. This path that will inspire you, inspire others, and help raise the consciousness of the planet and do the good that you know that you want to do, that you're here to do. It also means to transcend the concept of the ego, which is part of our psyche, that is effectively our safety mechanism. I talk a lot about the ego in my videos. But the individuation process helps us to transcend the idea of the ego. And when I say transcend, it doesn't mean to get rid of the ego, because the ego can work for us to help us create the life of our dreams. But until we're conscious of it and conscious of how it's kind of running our lives for us, then we're being controlled by the ego. So we want to be the master, not the servant. And that's what the individuation process helps us with. It's basically living a conscious life. So now that you're conscious of why you're doing the inner work and of your individuation process, here is how you can create a dedicated individuation practice to help you on this journey a bit more smoothly, because I'm sure that you've noticed it can be quite challenging at times. Shadow work, I talk about this all the time. Shadow work, shadow work, shadow work. You need to love and integrate all parts of you, including your shadow, the parts that you project, reject, that you believe are not you. It's all them, not me. That is all you. You are always seeing a reflection of yourself. So how can you learn to love and accept that? So do your shadow work. There are so many. Shadow work is quite popular at the moment. It's a bit of a buzzword there, and it is, in my opinion, you need to use it alongside all of your other personal growth and spiritual practices in order to kind of reach the wholeness of our truth. But there are many different tools that you can use alongside working with a coach, doing courses, maybe like get a journal, a dedicated shadow work journal. You know, there are tons of videos on YouTube about shadow work. Working with a coach or an analyst or a therapist who specializes in shadow work is one of the best ways to do it, because they hold you accountable. They can call you out on your bullshit when your ego is trying to kind of pull the wool over your eyes. So a coach will help you see clearly as you're working through shadow work, and probably help you get through the process. There may never be an end to the shadow work journey, but certainly move through it quicker and with more ease. You need to understand your persona. So the beginning of any shadow work journey, you need to understand your persona that you've created now, and we're going to move into archetypes in just a moment, but understanding your persona, the personality, helps you to kind of quickly understand what might be in your shadow. And as you move through the shadow work journey, you're going to be given opportunities to heal your karma. So any challenges that are created, you're going to be given opportunities to heal your karma, move through them, learn the lessons, and create something new. So then begin to live your dharma, and as you do this, you take another step towards the wholeness of your truth. So within Jung's individuation process, we work with the archetypes. Once you've done your shadow work and have started shadow work, and you're starting to understand your unconscious mind, your persona, what you're showing to the world, and you're starting to understand the difference between what you're consciously showing and what's unconsciously running your life, you're then given an opportunity to work with archetypes. So every person has an inner masculine and an inner feminine, anima and animus, inner Adam, inner Eve, that we can work with to help create new possibilities in our lives. So, and this goes for all of the archetypes: the sage, the trickster, the lover, the warrior. All of these archetypes that exist in the collective unconscious, or the collective consciousness, we can work with these energies to help create something in our lives. I use a lot of active imagination in my coaching and in my own personal practice, and this helps you to speak to these archetypes, to embody their energy, and to help you create something new in your life. Working with archetypes is so powerful. I recommend you trying it before dismissing it, because a lot of this work, a lot of Jung's work, offers looking into the mystical and the unseen, because there is so much that we cannot see. Like I've mentioned in previous videos, 95% of our mind is unconscious. So we're only operating from the tip of the iceberg. What lies available to us in the superconscious is incredible. So when you're working with archetypes and you've done your shadow work, you're working through individuation, and you're wanting to understand how to overcome a certain challenge in your life, how to heal a particular piece of karma or whatever, move through something, create something new, Pay close attention to your dreams. Archetypes will show up in dreams. So maybe if you're a woman and you're dreaming of a man, maybe an ex-partner, that is generally your animus or part of your shadow trying to communicate with you. So you can go into some shadow work, some active imagination to communicate with them and understand what they're trying to tell you. So pay close attention to your dreams, but also in your waking life, where have you seen symbols? So a fun example, the other day I saw on Instagram somebody I follow post an eel, and I was like, oh, that's weird, an eel. Anyway, last night I dreamt about 2 eels. So looking into the symbology of that has helped me understand something that I'm trying to overcome in my subconscious mind. All of this is helping you to integrate your shadow and integrate the energies that are available to you as we move towards wholeness and create the life that we were put on this planet to live. Another tool that I love to use is tarot. So the ancient art of tarot reading really helps you connect to the collective unconscious, to the superconscious mind, to help you work with your intuition, to integrate the energy that you're being asked to work with, to integrate your shadow, to understand maybe something that's going off in your mind that you're maybe not sure on. The tarot can make you go, oh yeah, of course. And you can journal on that. Of course, journaling and meditation go without saying in this process. But these are just some different ways. So shadow work, looking into your dreams, tarot, working with archetypes and symbols, leaning into mysticism, leaning into the unseen is really going to help you on this individuation process of going from a fragmented being in a state of suffering, trying to escape suffering, into a being of wholeness, living in flow with the universe, in flow with consciousness, rather than battling against it. It's the only way that you're going to experience peace, bliss, love, abundance, holistic success from a heart-led place. It's the only way. Otherwise, you're just going to be in constant battle with your mind, with your shadow, with the unconscious parts of you that will be ruling your life until you make them conscious. So working with a dedicated individuation practice, using some of the tools that I've mentioned, working with a coach, having dedicated time to meditate, self-reflect, contemplate, are really going to help you begin to live with purpose, live your dharma, and create this meaningful, fulfilled life. And if you're watching this video, there's a reason that you've been called here. So work with the energy, don't fight it, lean into it, open your mind, see what's possible. A brief recap of this kind of individuation process from my understanding and how I've worked with it is we go from this place of acceptance, beginning to accept who we are, the world as it is, learning more, uncovering our unconscious mind and moving towards wholeness. That's the aim, is we're moving towards the truth of our wholeness. And we're integrating our entire psyche in order to become whole, moving beyond societal conditioning, the programs that are in our unconscious mind, to discover our true self and true purpose for being here, living our unique path of Dharma, using mystical guides and energies for transformation to help us on this journey of personal transformation. And then we're living a life where we're in alignment with our deepest values, purpose, truth, and this is when we flow with the current of life rather than try to swim against it. And that's the individuation process done. If this video has kind of helped you, please hit the thumbs up button. If you have any questions, write them in the comments and I will get back to you. You can reach me in various ways and I will aim to help you in any way that I can on your individuation journey. For me, the biggest help that I have had is working with coaches, having friends who are on a similar individuation journey. My spiritual devotional practice has really helped me to stay centered throughout this. because working with the unconscious, you can often feel ungrounded, maybe a bit shaken, maybe a bit unsure as your life begins to change, which it inevitably will. And I guess that's why you're here, because you want to change your life and create an amazing life. But having a support system has really helped, which is why I've created the Lotus. So the Lotus is a community of wild souls and kindred spirits where we come together every Wednesday to join in a group meditation. This meditation is heart opening and based on the energy of what's going on in the moment, but there's also Q&A where we get to discuss your shadow work journey, discuss what's going off, and within the community there are other options to seek support and speak about your dreams and get help on interpreting your dreams and stuff like that. I also have deep, more in-depth one-on-one coaching packages to help you with your shadow work, help you integrate your shadow to create an amazing life, and all of the links for those are in the description below. I also have a free higher self meditation and a training to help you up-level your life, which gives you an introduction to the individuation process and how you can begin to make your unconscious mind conscious. So that's all, there's a link for that in the description as well. If I can be of any more service, please reach out. Otherwise, good luck and all the best, and you can always come back to these videos for more help.